guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm coming in with a DIY wellness tea. So this time of year there are a lot of flus and colds going around, and I thought it would just be a good way to boost your immune system with a tea. As you guys know, I work with herbs and I'm always making all sorts of teas, and I consider myself a little bit of a green witch. And I think that we can turn to our plant allies to help us build our immune system at this time. So I have specifically chosen the herbs here to help not only build our immune system, but to soothe a sore throat, for calming an upper respiratory infection, for all sorts of things, eliminating microbials and all of that. So let's jump in with the herbs that I'm using and kind of what I do to make this tea. It's really simple. You may have these things on hand. I mean, a lot of these are probably in everybody's kitchen, or you just may have these herbs laying around. Some of them do come from my garden, so I always think it's best when some of these things are grown by you. I also have a couple of crystals off to the side here that I'm going to be infusing into my tea as well. I'm not super scientific when it comes to measuring out my herbs. It's more of a guesstimation. So eventually I'm going to be scooping all of this and putting it into my little kitty tea diffuser. I just think it's so cute. But I'm going to mix them all up here in my my little mortar and pestle, my wood mortar and pestle, which, is not meant for grinding super difficult things because, it's made of wood, but more just to kind of mix everything together. What you're going to need for this particular tea, and hey, you switch out whatever you need to based on, allergies and, what you think your body needs or what you have on hand. Oftentimes I'll be following like a tea recipe and I'm like, I don't have that, but I do have this, and I think this would work just as good, if not better, something like that. So the first herb here I have is about a half a tablespoon of elderflower. So elderflower is really good for strengthening the immune system, especially one that is compromised. We also have about a half a teaspoon of ginger. Ginger is, I work with ginger so much. It's almost in everything, that has to do with the nervous system, the immune system. I think it's a all around good herb to use, or good root to use, I should say. And then I have here some yarrow, and this one is about a quarter of a tablespoon. So about a quarter of a tablespoon, but yarrow is also good for, warming up the body and kind of fighting infection. And next we have here also about a quarter of a tablespoon of cinnamon. So cinnamon is nice and spicy, and it also has that antimicrobial property. And then moving on, I have just a couple of pieces of clove. I don't have the ground clove actually, and I prefer to grind my own cloves sometimes, So it's just a couple of little cloves here. But, I think working well with the ginger and the cinnamon, again, just to create a nice warming effect, to keep the grossies at bay, if that's even a word. So this, if you were to grind it up, would probably be about a quarter of a tablespoon. And then lastly, we have some licorice root here, which is about an eighth of a tablespoon, roughly. Like I said, it's not an exact science here. It doesn't have to be super, super spot on, but about an eighth of a tablespoon of licorice root. And I think that's really good for coughs and sore throats, and also adds a little bit of a sweet flavor to it. And to any tea that I'm making, I also add a couple of my rose petals from my own garden. So this petal is from one of my red roses, and this is one from one of my white roses. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these inside here. So I'm just going to scoop them off. And in goes the rose petals. So I have a couple of different mortar and pestles. One of them is made of stone, and that's for grinding up seeds and things like that. And this one is more just for mixing, or if I'm, grinding up flours and things like that. But this is just more so I can get it all nice and mixed. And then I'm going to put it in my tea diffuser, my little tea strainer. All right, so I think it's pretty well mixed. You guys can see it in there. It smells good. Okay. So let's get my spoon. Grab my teacup. Oh, which by the way, you guys like my mug. I got this at World Market. Long time ago. I love my mug. Okay, so let's open her up. And we're just gonna scoop some stuff into here. I may not be able to get everything in, so it might be a couple of cups of tea. Yeah, maybe I can get everything in here. Just gonna make a really strong cup of tea here. That's okay. The stronger the better, I say, especially when it comes to immunosupport. All right, so I'm just gonna hang this off the edge like so. And we are gonna add our hot water. I already had water boiling in my kettle. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to let this steep for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to bring in these crystals here. One of them is a selenite heart, and I love its kind of seashell effect. And I also have a piece of rose quartz here. So I'm just asking the crystals to help me in this wellness tea and to help infuse their energy. So selenite for clearing and for clarity of the mind, body, and spirit, and rose quartz to add a touch of calmness, peace, and love to the mind, body, and spirit as well. So I will see you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes so that we can have some of this delicious tea. Okay, and we're back. So I am going to take my little strainer out. We are gonna try out this delicious tea. And there you go. All right, so it's been infusing with my rose quartz and my selenite, so I'm going to give it a little taste. That's really good. It's an interesting mix of the warm and spicy. Got like a small hint of the licorice, and it also has the earthiness of the yarrow, and yeah, I think it's a really comforting tea. So I have made this tea before, just in a different variation, so I just tried out a couple of different herbs with this one, exchanging some for another. And yeah, so I can definitely see myself kind of wrapped up in a blankie sipping this. It's been a little rainy out lately, so this is definitely a good rainy tea. But it's an herbal tea, so it's one that you can have, maybe a cup a day. Keep the snifflies away. We definitely want to keep the icky ickies at bay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you end up making this tea, or if you end up making a different version of it based on the herbs and spices that you have in your home. I'm really curious to know. And if you do end up making it, did you like it? And how did it feel, within your energetic body? So anyway, I will catch you spiritual homies later. I hope you found this helpful, this little DIY tea. I love to make DIY teas. So anyway, I will catch you spiritual homies later. If you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com, where I have my bam, Wally's World Oracle. I also have lots of healing salves and room and body sprays and bracelets that I make, so lots of good stuff. And if you head over to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter where once a month, I promise I don't spam your inbox, but once a month I send you guys my newsletter, and it has DIYs, it has spell DIYs, it has crystals that I'm using for the month, decks that I'm using, herbs that I'm using, teas that I'm drinking, so on and so forth. So if that interests you, definitely check it out. And if you want to throw a little love my way, a little tea money, think about joining the K2BT tribe over at patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot. And that's it for me. I will catch you spiritual homies later. Stay safe, stay healthy, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.